You know, I usually stay out of these conversations, but with Caitlin Clark, I can't stay silent anymore.
The WNBA has completely mismanaged its biggest star in Caitlin Clark, and it's really sad to see. She is the primary catalyst for their new media rights deals, sold out stadiums, having to move to bigger arenas just to feel how many fans are coming to the games. The primary catalyst for them now having private charter flights and a new CBA that pays them top dollar. Yet the WNBA at every turn seems to have misstep after misstep after misstep. The truth is, basketball is competitive and it gets physical at every level. But what Alyssa Thomas did was dirty to Caitlin Clark. And with countless examples of this targeted behavior towards the WNBA's biggest star, it's only right that the WNBA has to change the way that it officiates games to protect its players. From Caitlin Clark to every single WNBA player down the line. But it's so sad that all this drama is taking away from what the focus should be, basketball.
To the ground, and that's a hand to the neck, and then
driving into a wall at full speed with Caitlin Clark. They now have a commemorative poster of 30 years of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's not on it. And it's not just like an ode to the veterans that started the league. Paige Beckers and Angel Reese are on it.
Along with Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is in disarray due to a single contentious incident. Former players, commentators, and even basketball legends are now calling for an explanation. What at first seemed to be just a physical play has swiftly developed into a league-wide conversation about accountability, fairness, and Caitlin Clark's treatment on the court. Why, then, are so many people demanding that Alyssa Thomas be disciplined? What fresh data has sparked this expanding discussion? And would this be just the beginning of a bigger dispute involving the WNBA? The focus has once again turned to Caitlin Clark and the league's refereeing following 2 intense games and multiple physical altercations this week. The Indiana Fever and Phoenix Mercury faced battle on Monday in a tight game that included 6 technical falls, one of which was attributed to Clark, as well as an ejection. When the teams gathered again on Wednesday, another flashpoint emerged. Alyssa Thomas, a forward with the Phoenix Mercury, seemed to drive her fist into Clark's neck during a struggle for a lost ball. The decision to permit play to continue without issuing a foul in spite of the hit sparked immediate criticism and heightened the continuing discussion regarding player protection in the WNBA.
She falls to the ground, she kind of loses the ball, and then Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner are both going in to try to get the loose ball. This is just bad right here, you guys. So Alyssa Thomas kind of dives in, but you can see her fist go straight into her neck, and then there's another angle where her knee kind of goes into her groin, and this is at minimum a flagrant 1, and nothing was called here. You could see everybody's running back the other direction. Caitlin's slow to get up. This wasn't called. And then there was another play later on in the game where it was a clear landing space.
Nobody could have expected that one of the WNBA's most contentious disputes of the season would be sparked by a single moment. But that's precisely what happened. What began as a fierce, hard-fought match quickly turned into a national discussion about player safety, refereeing consistency, and whether the league is really doing enough to protect its brightest stars.
Of the play, the suspension, the reviews, all of it.
I just think it's so tough because the WNBA is physical. And when I think about a loose ball, I know that I've died at the bottom of some loose balls before.
After Phoenix Mercury forward Alyssa Thomas was suspended only 1 game for punching Caitlin Clark in the throat, one of her teammates and the associate head coach came to her defense. Thomas punched Caitlin Clark in the throat and kneed her in the groin. If anybody is cruel and a bully,
Caitlin Clark gotta fight one of these women. She has to fight one of these women. I say this with a straight face because Caitlin, eventually if you fight somebody, now they will know the next time they try you, they are going to have to fight. You might lose, but they're not going to want to fight you every single time. And the fact of the matter is, they treat you like...
Clips from the play went viral on social media in a matter of hours. Sports debate shows devoted a lot of time to analyzing the situation. Before long, the same questions were being asked by fans, experts, and former players. Had the officials missed a crucial opportunity? Was the league's response adequate? It became evident as the discussion heated up that the problem had expanded well beyond a single accident between Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark.
Celebrate the greatness that's happening in the WNBA because the league won't even protect its most influential and marketable player. The greatness of the other players in the WNBA gets ignored because the league won't protect the player who is behind its significant growth. The facts today show that too many people still make the debates in the WNBA centered around race and sexuality, not just the results. Drawing a line in the sand and defending any player's dirty play just because of the color of their skin or their sexuality.
The NBA, WNBA keeps growing. They celebrated its 30th anniversary, so they released a promotional poster. Now, this on top of what happened with Caitlin Clark last night. And by the way, Caitlin Clark's coach maybe too little too late in defending Caitlin Clark. There seems to be a
Instead of concentrating on a single incident, the conversation broadened to include how the WNBA can maintain its aggressive, physical style while yet providing sufficient protection for the players who are driving the league's extraordinary expansion. There were turns out to be a turning moment or merely another chapter in an ongoing conversation.
I really think that Caitlin Clark needs to leave the WNBA because these people don't realize that everything that they're getting now, all the more money they're getting, the league minimum used to be like $78,000. Now the league minimum for the WNBA is $300,000, with the highest being $1.7 million. And so I think the highest used to be like $150,000 would be the best you can make. Now it's up to $1.7 million. And did you know Caitlin Clark's not even in the top 25?
So you think she should go to the Euro League where they can make up to $4 million?
Yep, I think she should. She is the one that brought all these.
Tough contact is just a necessary component of playing at the top level, according to one group, which maintained that basketball has always been a physical sport. Others said that the government failure to act sooner just made the situation worse and that they allowed the intensity to get out of control. The league, which was in charge of analyzing the play following the game and deciding whether additional disciplinary action was necessary, was caught between those conflicting viewpoints. Regardless of what was anticipated, the league's decision instantly escalated an already contentious discussion. The WNBA escalated the play to a flagrant 2 violation after conducting an official review and concluding that Alyssa Thomas had made careless contact with Caitlin Clark. According to the league's regulations, the incident qualified as a non-basketball act, thus it also imposed a 1-game punishment. The announcement instantly became one of the most talked-about subjects in the basketball world, regardless of whether people thought the sentence was appropriate or excessively harsh. Debating officiating decisions is something that sports fans enjoy almost as much as the actual events. Numerous viewers examined every perspective like seasoned investigators, dissecting each replay frame by frame. Social media quickly became its own virtual courthouse, with thousands of followers firmly rendering convictions after repeatedly watching the same 6-second video, as well as self-appointed prosecutors and defense lawyers.
Isn't upgraded to a flagrant 1. You guys know how I feel about landing space fouls. I always am on the safe side when it comes to landing space because that is something that you could get very injured off of. And it's one of those things, like with the referees, the entire offseason, the CBA, all of this stuff was focused on trying to get the referees to do a better job. The WNBA has been super physical. We have heard players from the past just talk about the physicality of the WNBA and kind of pride themselves on that. But then as a viewer, as a fan, you're like, we don't like this. Like, yes, there's a level of physicality that's going to happen in basketball, but this is to the extreme. And it's also just the consistency, the level of calling fouls consistently across the board and making sure that
every hard foul, video review, and officiating decision involving Caitlin Clark will continue to generate heated discussion as long as she is one of basketball's greatest players. There are now other incidents involved in this controversy. It has sparked more general concerns about the WNBA's reputation, player safety, and consistency. How comparable situations are handled going forward will determine whether the league's response turns out to be a turning moment or merely another chapter in an ongoing conversation.